Yeah, conspiracy corner. Let's go. Quay and David about to let
David
you
McQuaid
know.
here again. Quay's Conspiracy Corner.
Welcome.
Start us off, bro.
All right, bet.
What do you got for us today?
Hey, everybody. Today we're going to start with Bigfoot. Is he real? Is he real? Is it just one Bigfoot or is it a family of them? You know what I'm saying? Is it a nation of Bigfeet? Like, what's going on here? Talk to me, Dave. What you think about Bigfoot?
I don't.
Bigfoot.
I don't think about Bigfoot. I don't think about
you
big
think
feet. I assume that if we have multiple big feet.
I don't know how to say that plurally.
I don't know. But I would assume there would be families of them. In order to make more, there needs to be a family, husband and wife, not necessarily husband and wife, but male, female.
If you think
in order to make more, that's just my assumption. They're like most mammals or all mammals. I don't know biology. I'm no biology professor, but I believe that they would have to mate to create more. I don't know where they live or anything like that.
So, like,
my wife is. Okay. Yeah, so I think they have families. I think that they, if they exist, there's no proof or evidence that they do exist. Maybe once upon a time they
maybe
did.
there is some proof.
I don't think there's any proof. I think people want there to be proof, but we haven't found them. Doesn't mean that they don't exist.
The videos.
But I don't think about Bigfoot. I don't care about Bigfoot.
You were saying something about your wife. What were you?
She wants to find Bigfoot.
So she thinks Bigfoot is real.
Yeah, but she's not willing to do the work.
Got you. I watched a lot of shows growing up about Bigfoot. It's a lot of different.
Because there's a lot of shows that they got y'all wasting your time watching these stupid Bigfoot shows where you got these people who it's entertainment. It's not science.
Biologists.
It's not it's none of that. It's entertainment. They're selling ads, and Bigfoot is the draw that they are drawing you in with.
If Bigfoot, like, make him real in your mind, what do you think? What do you think he originates from? What do you like?
I don't know.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
a big hairy dude. I don't know. He's just an animal. Where do any of us come from? Why would I ponder his existence?
I mean, like,
it's
a mythical creature.
It's a mythical creature. That means myth. That means that it's not
a cool.
Mythical is still not true. It's not factual. So it's not mythical, or it is mythical and it's not real. So I ponder my own existence. I wonder more about us. We are. Like, he is struggling to survive, or he's thriving. I don't know. I would think that if he's thriving, then there would be more of them, and there would be more evidence of them. However, we, being humans, we appear to be, I guess the argument is whether or not we're thriving, but we're multiplying. And I think that we need to ponder our own existence and figure out what we could be doing better. And so that's kind of where I'm at, instead of thinking about Bigfoot and whether or not they exist.
Yeah.
And all this kind of stuff.
I think it's a few different ways to go. I'm leaning more so the side it's not real. Like, I watched all of those shows and documentaries about Bigfoot. I was a fanatic. But coming out of it, I just, like, it's not real. You know, they kept coming too close to getting nothing. You know, I was like, they
got something. They got paid from people watching, looking for Bigfoot and selling ads.
They didn't get Bigfoot. They didn't never capture Bigfoot.
But they got more than one season.
They got 10 seasons. The one Finding Bigfoot.
And multiple shows.
I was committed to finding Bigfoot. I'm telling you. Yeah, not real.
You're not so committed to finding Bigfoot.
Nah, I think it's not real.
From the couch, you ain't gonna find Bigfoot.
You know, research is a beautiful thing.
Sitting watching TV is not research.
That is research. If it's educational.
That's the problem with our education system today. If sitting down watching TV shows is research, then we have.
So you sit
that's
in
where we're at as a civilization.
You know, why do you sit in classrooms and stuff like that? But anywho, yeah, me trying to make sense in my head, I feel like they could have been real. You know, like a Neanderthal almost. Yeah, I think they could have existed at one point. They probably been killed off. You know, they could be in Antarctica. Who knows? You know, who really knows what's in Antarctica? Yeti. But yeah. I think human existence probably would have killed them off. Like, they're all throughout history. The Native Americans, you know, they're very prominent in the North and South Americas.
Stories.
The stories are very prominent in North and South America. Some people even had them like teleporting and stuff, and I'm like, okay, like this is getting out of hand. Mythical
People
creatures, as
have
they say.
vivid imaginations.
They do. But yeah, I think they could have like been the Neanderthal. You know what I'm saying? I like how long ago was they? I need to look that up. How long ago did the
Long time.
Neanderthals go extinct? But probably during human period if we know they existed. Besides the skeletons, like the same things with the Bigfoot, they could have been hairy creatures. Do I think they are descendants or related to humans? No, I don't think Bigfoots and humans are like the next step in evolution or the past step. Um, but I think they existed.
Congratulations.
They probably still do.
I don't know.
We don't know what's going on.
What else do you have for me? I think we killed Bigfoot just now.
I don't think we killed him. He's alive. What's next? How do we fix the presidential seat? What could we do? What do you think we should change about the federal government or the election process about electing presidents? Do you think they should serve longer terms, shorter terms? Do you think we just don't need presidents anymore? What's your thought on that? Your real thought.
Okay. So you're asking whether or not the seat of the president should exist or we should modify. I don't know. I think those questions, like, to speak intelligently about it, it's above my pay grade. However, this being Quay's Conspiracy Corner,
I'm thinking and acting locally here.
I'm going to venture out, okay? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think that the way that we're doing things is the best way to do it. I don't know necessarily what changes could be made. I don't know that people are ready for any changes to be made. I know for sure the power structure is not ready for any changes to be made. But I would like to see a less powerful executive in office. I believe that the central government, the federal government, has grown entirely too large. And what I would like to see is, I think that the elections and all that stuff can be in place, but if they had less power, then it would be less of an issue.
When you say less power, do you mean more power, less power from the president, or less power from the federal government?
All of the above. I believe in the decentralization of power. I believe the states should have more power, and the states have relegated their power to the federal government.
So let's start right there. So like the states getting more power, do you feel like the state should hold majority of the power, or do you think the people should hold majority of the power within each state?
This is a difference without a distinction. Okay, I think that the power should be held in the state, but then the people give the power to the state. So
like, how would they elect officials? The same way we do now?
The same way. I don't see a problem with the election process. My problem is that we're trying to get everybody to vote, and we got a bunch of dummies out there that I don't want making any decision for me whatsoever.
I wouldn't say dummy. I say
uneducated.
I'm
saying it. Okay, uneducated. But there's a lot of dummies out there, and I don't want them voting for me. I don't believe that they're making good decisions for themselves, and I certainly don't want them making any decisions for me. However, that being said, I think that the centralization of power has been a negative force, and I'd like to see decentralization of power. Back to the states need to take more control. I think local control is better, so that you can look the people who are making decisions for your life, you can look them in the face. Once upon a time, they said no taxation without representation. I don't believe that we're being fairly represented in the central government. So we could start there. And I think that the income tax as being generally applied, because ultimately it all comes down to power and money. The income tax is one of the ways that they use to siphon off wealth from individuals. And so I don't know. The big picture of it is, I believe that the federal government is much too strong these days, and we need to decentralize power, and that would, I think, solve a bunch of our issues. Corporations couldn't buy politicians as easy as they do today, and even if they did, there would be many more politicians.
Stand against it.
Well, that they would have to buy off with the decentralization of power. Not any one individual has as much power, so they can't just take all their money and give it to one person. They would have to throw it.
So you give more people
spread
more
it
power.
amongst you give more people more power, and you spread it there, and then they can't just go and focus in on a few people and line their pockets. You have to decentralize. Like, there's a reason that back in the I don't remember exactly which year, but in the teens or the 20s, they removed the power of the states to elect the senators, so that now it's the senators are less beholden to the states, so then they get bought off by the corporations. And then two, they capped the number of representatives so that the number of representatives don't grow with the population. So then as the population grows, more and more power is given to those representatives, because they basically it deflates the value of our vote. It's watering it down. So each vote becomes less and less valuable over time. So I don't know. And then there's all the pushes to have everybody and their mama vote. In my opinion, instead of lowering the voting age, I believe we should raise the voting age. I think the voting age should be raised to 35 or 40.
Oh, I disagree with that.
I don't care.
This is why I disagree. I think, and me having political conversations with older people, you know, of the same standing as me, not all of them, but a lot of them are so out of touch with what goes on today that they're voting to fix the problems that they have, not the mass majority.
Yeah,
So
but
if I'm
everybody's voting for
65
it to fix the problems that they have.
Yeah, but if I'm 65 plus, 75 plus, like, me and you don't have the same problems. You get what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you. However, I would also
stand against you.
I would also do this. I would raise the lower end of the age, and then I would also cap the voting age. So once you retire, then you're also excluded from voting.
See, so and this
they
is
don't like me today in the comments.
these are my issues and these two problems, right? Because older people are already getting like the shittier end of the stick, as they say. The Social Security age thing. You know what I'm saying?
What about it?
They're retiring a lot later. So you retiring like I said, let's say 72. You don't get Social Security until you're 72. You can't retire till you're 72.
No, but they get to choose.
They get to choose what?
When they retire.
Oh, depending on the job?
No, depending on you and your decisions. You make the decision when you stop working. You get to choose. And then you get to also choose, you can continue working when you take your Social Security benefits. I don't know. The whole system is you're too young to be talking about this. You don't.
No, I feel I think, especially on the younger side of it, like when you get you going to college and you getting at that college age, you like the political atmosphere, you know what I'm saying, and the social structure completely changes. You know, you start to see a world. It does. You start to see it in a completely different lens. You're around a lot more people your age, and who's more into what.
Okay. Let me look, young fella. Look, Crazy Conspiracy Corner. Okay, it's not that atmosphere changes. It's that you are getting your first glimpse into this at that age. You as a young person, all of us as young people are at that college age, whatever you want to call it, is getting their first real. Some people are political at an earlier age, but for the most of us, you're then, because 18 is the age for voting, right? So at that age, either a senior in high school or first year of college, if you go directly to college, you're going to be the first time that you get to vote. So of course it's going to be something new to you. And so people feel like it's something new, it's shiny, and they feel like they have a voice and blah, blah, blah. So that's why, and college has always been that thing. There's college campuses where people like, they think they're, look, there's going to be a million things that you could say about
They
the college
usually
campuses.
are the visionaries of the world, that age group.
They're
You
not
feel
the
what I'm saying?
visionaries. They're a
They
bunch
are.
of
They are the
dreamers.
people.
No, they're
They are
not
a bunch of dreamers
visionaries.
and they become doers.
They
Like
don't.
a lot of
That's what you
that's,
get from
no,
today.
That's
is
real.
That the
Like,
college kids are a bunch of doers out there.
it's not like a whole bunch of old people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In a position who's like,
Hey,
I
go
don't
do
like
and
this and I don't
go
like
do
that.
and make me my Starbucks coffee. I don't drink Starbucks. I'm just making.
Yeah,
fun.
but like, yeah, they might work at Starbucks at that time, but they go back to school and they tackle certain issues. They have problems, even like social issues on campus. You feel what I'm saying? They're the most vocal.
No,
at
I
that
get that
age.
they're the most vocal. Yeah, they're a bunch
But
of
that
crybabies.
inflicts the most change. You say that, but like you at an age where you're not necessarily under your like 18, 25,
know.
let's say to 30. Let's say to 25, perfect. You're at an age where you're getting out of your parents' control, you know, but you've yet to get the benefits of being an American citizen because you're
How
so
you
young.
not got the benefits when your whole life was the benefit of being an American citizen? What is this?
It's like
How?
a big old wave hitting you in your face because like
No, they
like,
get their
let's say
first
the
taste of
insurance.
freedom. They get to do what they want. They
What
don't
is
have
freedom?
oversight.
Debt? Freedom is immediate debt.
That's a
freedom
choice,
is,
though.
is the immediate.
No, I didn't do it. That's a choice.
You
live your life.
yourself
Okay,
need
we
to
go
do
back
it.
to this. This is going to be a continuous theme. Are you going to live your life by default and do what they tell you to do, whoever they is, or are you going to live your life on your own terms and design your own life? Okay, you're going to go and get debt for whatever reason. I don't know why everybody's going to college because everybody told them to go to college.
Why did you go to college?
I didn't go to college. I went to college to party.
Okay.
And I cut it
I
short.
went to college to play basketball.
I
And
learned.
guess what? We all still decided to do it.
Okay.
Like it doesn't differentiate your reason. You know what I'm saying? You still end up there. You don't your age group doesn't change. Just because I'm not in college doesn't mean I still don't hit the workforce. Doesn't mean that insurance doesn't affect me a certain way.
Okay.
Car insurance,
but
life
I don't
insurance.
understand what's the point of all this? Like where are we going with this conversation? Because you're just throwing out.
My point is, you said raise the voting age, cut the voting age. I don't think that helps at all because you're excluding a lot of people. The people in that middle are going to make decisions for themselves. You're not benefiting your children of your country.
Let me ask you this.
It has to be the whole group. You can't. I don't think you should cut the voting age.
That's bull. Who do you think is in a better position, and do you think that I'm going to be able to consider the wider benefit to the most people? Me. I got kids. So you think that I'm going to make decisions that are going to go contrary to what's best for my kids?
You.
Me what?
You. Just you. What about the people your age that don't have children?
Okay.
What about the people your age that has children that's already gone? You know what I'm saying? And worried about themselves.
Okay, but how? Okay, so then what are some of the consequences of these voting matters that we're talking about that could impact?
Taking your right to vote, that's like technically your voice, but you're not just voting for presidency. You know what I'm saying? If you fix like things like local politicians, education, all these things like start to get better, you know what I'm saying? But you're excluding certain people.
Look, I'm excluding people who I do not want to have a voice for me.
But you see how much of a slippery slope that is, because as me being here, I could say I don't want somebody that's 65-year-olds to vote.
Okay, me
65
too.
plus. Okay, but them being 65 and they was like, I don't want these 18, 25, 30-year-olds making decisions for my life. I'm old. I want to live my life. Everybody should have
your life.
Those rights to vote. I'm not saying take their right to vote because they're too old. It should be like if you see now, you shouldn't vote.
Got
you know
him.
what I'm saying?
Got him.
Rating the age of vote to like 21 instead of 18, that makes more sense.
I'll take whatever I can get, bro. I'll start off 18 to 21. Let's do it.
Political
from 21
power,
to 25, 25 to 30.
Nah.
Or
that's where
there's an alternative
there's gonna
too.
be like 30 people voting in the country at that point.
Okay.
At the direction you're going, you see that these things like progress.
Okay, then we'll go a different direction, and then let's do some things to fix the education system to where I don't feel so bad. Maybe giving some additional power to these young kids to be able to vote because they're making wiser decisions. But I haven't seen the evidence of this.
So let's tap down on that button right there, right? Let's tap down on it because I know people 65. I know people 45. They have no business voting.
Okay.
They'll watch a
not
clip
gonna
on
get on-
social media and that's how they feel. So the problem is not the age. The problem is the education of.
Okay.
Can we
Who's
agree on
responsible
that?
for your education?
The 35-year-old politicians, them 65, 75-year-old politicians, we should have an age cap on serving certain offices. That's what we should have. If you ain't been to school for more than 50 years, you ain't got no business. You ain't still, if you're not educating children, if you're not around these kids, and you should have no business talking about how they should and shouldn't be educated. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Look, ultimately, this is what I think it comes down to. If we're talking about, how do we even get on this?
I think
Okay,
if you go to
here.
war, you should be some type of military experience, some type of general. You have no business being in the Department of Defense. You know what I'm saying?
Huh?
If you've never been to war, if you're not,
Okay.
if you have no experience, no education on these types of things, why are you?
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
Yeah. You should
This
be
is-
qualified for what you're voting on.
This is what I think. I think the decisions should be made closer to where whatever it is that the decision is being made about. I believe that decentralization of power
Mhm.
is the correct direction to move toward, so that we
I
don't
agree.
have people because a lot of the things that we're talking about here is like federal stuff. And so we decentralize the power. We've got the Washington D.C. making decisions for 330 million people, give or take, and we're thinking that it's this one size fits all solution to various problems. And so if we decentralize that power, give the power back to the folks, and then we can deal with these things at our local level, then I think we'd be in a better situation.
I agree.
But we need to, and then we care less about who's voting in these federal elections, because those elections do not have
as much say so.
Yeah, they don't have as big an impact, and so then I can have conversations with the young folks in my area on topics
Be way
of
more
interest.
meaningful conversation.
Yes, instead of all this yelling at each other, red team, blue team.
So that's what
whatever.
It becomes, though, right? I think it's like a fine line of like a lot of younger people, and a lot of older people being the liberals, and the ones who fall in between being the conservatives, and that draws it.
I don't know, bro.
That's from my personal.
That is from my
personal experience.
I think that the demographic that watches Fox News is an older demographic. But you said the old folks are liberals, so that wouldn't fall in
older
line.
people. I think that's okay. It's race driven too. It is too, especially talking some of the liberals and conservatives. When you get to a certain age, if they're black, they're liberal. If they're white, they're probably going to be conservative. At that old age, in that middle, I think they vote more clearly. I think they vote more. Okay, this is what I believe in. This is what I don't. Younger people are like more easily to influence. So
they're
it's
learning.
easy to draw them
to
a particular size.
Look, at a younger age,
side.
You're less ingrained in your beliefs. Like, you may have strong beliefs, but you haven't had the experience yet to have your beliefs tested.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you get older, then that path that you're following has become more ingrained. And so that's why
the reason I don't want to exclude the voting from these people is because you don't want to exclude them from the process of learning. Like, I didn't get
you ain't gotta vote to learn.
No, I think you do, because I didn't get more like involved or care that much about politics until after I voted the first time, and I disagree with my vote. You know, I felt like I had a certain amount of like influence for the demise of things that I cared about because I chose wrong. Now, does my vote have that much power? Probably not, but I cared a lot more. You know, I felt like I was being influenced wrongly. It showed me.
Give specific examples of what you're talking about.
I voted for Joe Biden in 2018. I regretted that decision.
In 2018?
2018? Was that 20?
In 2020.
2016? No, 2016 was...
2016 was Hillary and Trump. 2020 was Biden.
2020. Was I? Yeah, I was 20. Dang. Yeah, I voted for Joe Biden in 2020. My bad. And I didn't like that decision. I felt like I saw things change. particularly in my mom's life, property taxes and stuff of that nature. Like just I just saw stuff change.
This is
Being a single mom,
I want to be able
cost
to
of living.
talk more specifics. Yeah, but the cost of living. Look, you're talking about 2020. You're talking about COVID and the inflation from COVID and all this kind of stuff. That's cost of living.
That's the government right
attached.
there, boy.
Okay, but we need to be able to speak more specifically about things. You mentioned property taxes. Property taxes is a local issue. It's not a federal issue. The feds have no control over property taxes. So
I didn't know that.
yes. So this is where the education comes into play. This supports my argument. For the young folks, not necessarily going to say. He votes for Biden because of property taxes. Biden has no control over property taxes. I'm just saying it supports my point. Okay. 2020. Look, the COVID was a crazy time, but 2020, the election was in November of 2020. Mm-hmm. That's 11 months into COVID. Okay, they're hiding Sleepy Joe in the basement the whole time. He didn't even have to have a campaign. There's people out there that will argue that Trump was really won the election and all this kind of stuff. And then not long after that was January 6th and the people that went
Capitol.
to
Okay.
And all this kind of stuff. So you got to have to kind of go back in time to all this. But because these people have such great power, all of this becomes a big spectacle. I think neither one of those men are necessarily who I want to be a leader for me. But this goes back to, I don't think that all the power needs to be rested in that federal government. I want to take the power back for the folks so that we can have more control over our lives instead of living lives by default, which is what we fall into, thinking, oh, I'm 18, I need to vote, when clearly people don't really understand the power structure and where decisions about certain things are made. I just think we would all be benefited, and everybody, it goes back to the Civil War and the centralization of power into the federal government versus giving the state power. It'll be a long slog to try to get this back, but there's movements out there like the Texas secessionist movement where we're trying to, and even California, there's a movement there to secede from the Union. So I don't know. There's things going on out there where people are trying to take the power back, but we will.
Perfect point.
I don't know.
So good. That's good. So like I said, I voted in 2024. I'm at 2020, not 2024.
No,
I
but
voted
2024 was also, that was the next election.
I didn't vote though.
Okay.
So catch me. Like I voted in 2020. I felt like not peer pressured, but I think societal pressure, about he hates our people. You know what I'm saying? It was more so vote. It's not so much what Joe Biden would do for us. It was what Trump would do against us.
Well, it wasn't Trump versus Biden in 2024.
No, 2020. I'm talking about 2020.
But you're saying
I voted for Joe Biden in 2020.
Okay.
I didn't vote in 2024.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, I thought you were talking about 2024 now.
2024, I didn't vote. I advocated. I did not vote.
Advocated for?
Trump's party. Don't hate me for that. You know what I'm saying? I have my reasons. I promise. We're going to get there, though. We're going to get there. Let me finish what I was saying. We're going to get there. Yeah, I agree with him. I don't think the presidents, they do have too much power, but I don't think they have the power. I voted for Joe Biden, but he was Sleepy Joe. Like you say, I don't think he was making those decisions. I think the lobbyists, the people who were giving him the money, you know what I'm saying? He was the mouth. It was somebody that had his hand in his back. You know what I'm saying? They said his back. He was doing whatever they said. And the thing that caused me to advocate for Trump was the fact that he wasn't pro us. When I say us, I mean black people. He wasn't pro USA either. He wasn't like, I love the U.S. government. Let's trust the U.S. government. He was against that you know, and that's what I stood for. Like, I think it's a common enemy. That's how I looked at with Trump. Like, he was standing against the United States government, and now I changed. I've changed. I think he has become what Sleepy Joe was, and a lot of presidents always have been, just puppets. I think he is a puppet now. I don't think he. I think the plans he wanted to implement, I think he genuinely wanted to do that, but does he have that power now? No. I think he's scared. I think he fears for his life, his family's life. I'm not gonna get into all that, but yeah. Shoot. I don't yeah. I don't I probably won't vote again, presidency wise. I would lean more so one president than the other, but it's strictly on the principle of like who has my common interest. And that's how I was advocating the last election, the 2024 election. I got tired of people telling me don't vote for Trump, he's a racist, you know. Vote for Hillary, she's a black woman. I don't think she's black. That's the first thing. And two, she never. And two, I mean, watch the video. She said it out her own mouth. She say she ain't black. I'll take her word for it, bro. I'm not gonna convince her that she. You feel me? Whatever. But I'm not gonna vote for you because you black. I don't think that's a good qualification enough to run the country.
You said Hillary. Do you understand that you said Hillary, or are you talking Kamala?
Kamala. Oh my God, Kamala. Not Hillary.
Okay.
Kamala Harris,
Sorry,
not Hillary. You should have caught me earlier, bro.
No, I did, but I thought when you caught back on, I still thought that you understood what you were saying.
Kamala Harris. I don't think she's black. Hillary is clearly a white woman. Yeah, I'm not just gonna vote for you because you're black. You got to give me something. And telling me that Trump's a racist and he hates my people. That's not that. You're not giving me a reason to vote for you. Telling me somebody's bad, but you're better than them, even though you're bad too. They're more evil than me. That's not a good enough reason. He gave me 1,000 reasons, not like hyperbole, 1,000 reasons. You know what I'm saying? To not and to vote for him, which I didn't vote, but I advocated. He gave me reasons. Every time I looked at her page. I listened to the people who were trying to convince me. What would she do for me? What would she do for us? Like, tell me, educate me on what she can do for us. Let me educate myself on I see nothing, you know? I never got a reason. Trump had 1,000 different plans. Are these things going to implement? Probably not, but that's effort, you know? That's effort. That's somebody saying, this is what I want to do. I'm going to try to do this over, oh, he hates you. Don't vote for him. Vote for me. I look like you. That's not good enough. That is not good enough.
Okay. Well, I can say this. The one good thing that Trump has done is he freed Ross Ulbricht.
Hey man, Trump done freed a lot of people, freed a lot of rappers.
That's what I'm gonna say.
He freed a lot of, a lot of people. I don't know. I don't care about no freeing nobody. You feel what I'm saying? Make the country good. Yeah, I don't care about freeing. He freed a lot of people. Freed Kodak Black. He freed Lil Wayne. Freed Jeff Ulbricht. I don't know, bro. I don't care about none of that stuff, bro.
Ross Ulbricht.
I don't care about none of that, man. You
know
what I'm saying? Just help better our country. You know what I'm saying? And stop trying to turn us into a dual country. You know, we are the United States of America. We are not Israel. Trump. Thank you.
Look, decentralize the power. Let's take the power back.
I'm with it. Decentralize the power. Give the power to the states. Give the power to the people.
Okay. We good? We hit all of it?
Bigfoot? All of that. We're good. I can keep going.
No, bro.
Yeah, we can cut it if you want. I can keep going. I got more stuff on the paper.
No, leave it for another day.
I got more stuff. Close us out there, Dave.
That's the message. Decentralize. Let's take the power back, folks. Let's make our communities better. Do what you can do to improve your life. Don't look. Okay, this is what I have to say. I'm kind of trying to process. Okay, so you're voting for these people to help you improve your life. You're looking. Let's not look to our politicians to improve our lives.
Real.
Let's take responsibility for our lives, and let's do something about it Let's do something every day in order to improve our lives and the lives of those people around us and in our communities. Do what you can to be the best version of yourself. Try your best not to be emotionally triggered, because that's ultimately what the centralization of power, they're trying to keep us divided, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And they play on our emotions and they get us all strung up so that we won't talk amongst ourselves and find the things that we have in common and find common ground so that we don't rise up against them. But we need to take the power back, improve our lives, the lives of those around us, our neighborhoods, our communities. Be the best version of yourself. Remember that, again, I mention it all the time because I think that he's a G. Andy Frisella, that personal excellence is the ultimate form of rebellion. I love that quote. Continue to think and act locally. Make it a great day. And just as an explanation, I don't know how much explanation it needs, but I say make it a great day for a reason. It shows that you have control and you can take action to make a positive change in your life. So make it a great day. Don't hope. Hope is not a game plan. Make it a great day. And take action. Do something positive.
Yeah. I'm with that. I'm with that one. Yeah, don't change the voting age. I believe change the way we vote. You know what I'm saying? You said something like, I think we should vote for people that we could see every day. If I got a problem with a law you pass or a bill you pass, we could sit down and have a conversation about it. Like I said, I'm pretty much, I feel like I'm done voting for presidents. It's like, it's not much control one man can do. But local politicians and local elections, I'm going to get a lot more into, like affecting and changing our community. I think everybody should be that way. The federal government does have a lot of power. So voting is very important, still prevalent today, might still continue advocating, but hopefully that changes in the near future, or I think our country is headed for destruction, genuinely.
Okay, well, hope's not a game plan, so.
Hope.
Yeah, it's not a game plan.
Should
But
be hope.
anyway.
I said hope.
Uh-huh.
But I said hope.
It's okay. You hope that things change. Hope's not a game plan.
You know.
But anyway.
Got the wisdom making truth more
Go
stable.
and make it a great
Local
day.
action, global
Take
faction.
action.
We ain't backing down. Every lie that they feeding us, we break it down. Shadow government, hidden documents, we see through the smoke.